It is the biggest scandal in the history of football. We've just seen the biggest robbery live on television because how? How is VAR robbing this completely legal?
If you still believe Real Madrid deserve those 15 Champions League, then there's something wrong up there. Never in my life have I seen this type of BS, bro. Disallowing a goal in a penalty shootout, VAR intervening in the middle of it, and they wonder why they're called Madrid. No team in the world is getting away with this shit, bro.
Honestly, it was robbed because, according to me, I felt like maybe Julian Alvarez would have retaken that penalty. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hit the subscription button, tell a friend to tell a friend. So Real Madrid played yesterday against Atletico Madrid. It was a tight match. I know the biggest part of that game. I'll have a conversation about that one, but before that, it was a tough game. Real Madrid played a good game, but Atletico Madrid deserved more. I felt like Atletico Madrid really deserved a win yesterday against Real Madrid. And not only yesterday, but also in the first leg of that match, I felt like Atletico Madrid was a better side compared to Real Madrid. I think sometimes luck always plays a big role in football match because Atletico Madrid really played a good game, but Real Madrid were lucky even to hold Atletico Madrid until the extra time, because I felt like Atletico Madrid had a lot to offer yesterday, and they played a good game compared to Real Madrid. That's my opinion, though. You can have your opinion, but I feel like Atletico Madrid yesterday played a good match compared to Real Madrid. And also in the first leg that Real Madrid won 2-1, I felt like Atletico at some point they overpowered Real Madrid, and that's what we call a derby. And I don't know why this time UEFA Champions League, I don't know why they did this, because they decided not to see any final match of UEFA Champions League going on one side. Or for example, all the England clubs meeting in the final, or all the Spain club meeting in the final. But yesterday's game, Atletico Madrid versus Real, like felt like a UEFA Champions League final, and you could see from the players' eyes, from the players' reaction, everybody wanted a win. Real Madrid side was also reacting well. The likes of Bellingham. And before moving forward and talking about Julian Alvarez penalty story, I feel like I need to tackle a bit about Real Madrid and their penalty takers, because I don't always understand like Real Madrid when it comes to penalty taker, because sometimes you'll see Mbappe taking a penalty, sometimes you'll see Vini Jr. taking a penalty. So at some point, I don't even know like who's their like their number one penalty taker, because at some point Mbappe played a good game. Mbappe did very well to win a penalty for Real Madrid, but then I don't know why they preferred Vini Jr. to take that penalty. At some point, I always feels like Kylian Mbappe is an awful penalty taker, but I kind of trusted Vini Jr. with that penalty, but I don't know what happened. Maybe Mbappe would have taken that penalty. It would have been a goal, and maybe Real Madrid would have not even gone to extra time with that Atletico Madrid. But it is what it is. That's what happened. But another thing that I want to talk about is this extra time. Why don't just FIFA do away with extra time? I always feels like extra time. It's always a big waste of time, because watching the football for 2 hours, it's even like it's even boring, because at some point you even when you're watching the match, players are always somehow tired, because even when the game is going on a draw, and it reaches at maybe 78 to 80 minutes, you always see the players relaxing, just waiting for the extra time. And on the extra time, they're always relaxing, waiting for the penalties. So I feel like that's my opinion, though. But I feel like extra time always sucks, and I always feel like if I had the power to do away with the extra time, I would have done away with the. I can easily do away with the extra time, because I always feel like players just needs to play 90 minutes and then go direct to the penalties, because extra time is always such a waste of time, because even for the viewers watching the game straight away for 2 hours, it's never an easy thing. It's never an easy thing, and I always feel like even watching yesterday and talking about the extra time yesterday, extra time Atletico Madrid versus Real. Atletico Madrid were really a better side, especially in the extra time compared to Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they played a good game. Dibo Couture made quite a good saves, but then before talking about that penalty, I feel like, man, sometimes when you lack luck, that's and I think that's the reason why PSG does not have a UEFA Champions League, because of luck. That's the reason why England have gone in the past two Euro Cup finals, but they have never won any because of luck. I always feel like sometimes luck always plays a good role in football. Look at Real Madrid yesterday. Real Madrid were really overpowered. They never knew that they will proceed past Atletico Madrid, but it is what it is. Right now they proceeded, and Atletico Madrid was eliminated. But talking about the main part of the video, the main reason that I'm recording this video today is Julian Alvarez penalty. I felt like it's okay, man. Sometimes I don't even understand. I've never seen such a thing in football world. Ever since I started watching football, ever since I got the knowledge of football, I've never seen such a thing. The only thing I knew maybe the penalty would be retaken, but canceling a penalty because of VR. Like I just felt like, man, and there is no joke out here. There is a reason why people call Real Madrid a Champions League club, because how on earth? I thought maybe that Julian Alvarez penalty will be retaken because he slipped, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I can't. I felt like sometimes talking real talk, it was a honest robbery, because I felt like maybe even if let's assume, I've always seen the cases before that players slip before taking the penalty, but instead of the goal being cancelled, the penalty is always being retaken. So I felt like the penalty will be retaken. But then I just saw VR cancelling Atletico Madrid goal because Julian Alvarez slipped taking that penalty, and they felt like maybe he took that penalty using two legs. But this penalty has sparked a lot of debates, because this is the time that I saw a lot of people bringing in Lionel Messi goal against France, yeah, in the World Cup, and they also felt like the same thing happened to Lionel Messi and nothing happened. But then, because it was Julian Alvarez and because they were playing against Real Madrid, the goal had to be called off, and the goal had to be cancelled by VAR. I don't even know. I don't even know where the VR came from, because at some point I always feel like, but it's always normal, because it's always normal, especially in Madrid derby. Madrid derby always has a lot of problems. You remember when fans, you know, did some shits on the bag and threw straight away to the Couture. It was Real Madrid. I think Madrid derby is one of the derbies which always has a lot of hate, and have a lot. I don't know. I wouldn't even call them hate, but I think Madrid derby is always that one derby which is never easy. Not even compared to Manchester derby. Manchester derby it's never that sensitive compared to Madrid derby, because I always feel like Madrid derby, and for UEFA Champions League to be scheduling Madrid derby before the finals, I just feel like, I don't know why UEFA came out with the such fixtures this season, because watching Liverpool playing against PSG, that was a final game, man. That was a final game. Watching it, the players were really playing very well, and it looked like a final game. Again, watching Real Madrid yesterday playing against Atletico Madrid, and not only yesterday, but also in the first leg of that UEFA Champions League match, that game felt like a Champions League final day. Before moving forward, I have like some videos that I want to react to, of these fans criticizing VR for canceling Julian Alvarez goal. Let's watch these videos and maybe give out my 2 cents about them.
Every single year, it's the same story, but this time, it is the biggest scandal in the history of football. We just seen the biggest robbery, live on television because how? How is VAR robbing this completely legal Julian Alvarez penalty? I cannot believe what we've just witnessed. I'm not even trying to rage bait. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can right now. I've watched the clip over 10 times. I've watched Julian Alvarez kick that ball 10 times. And not once has he touched the ball twice. Not once. And let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he does touch it twice. How the hell is it even going to VAR? Only Real Madrid in a penalty shootout with a penalty in their favour go to VAR. Sooner that people realize the Real Madrid, every single Champions League that they've won throughout the history has been on calls like this. Just robbing teams in broad daylight. The sooner the world will be a better place. This is beyond embarrassing for the sport of football. If people still rate Real Madrid after this, I'm sorry for you. You guys do not have a functioning brain because this is just, I cannot describe with words what we see. The biggest robbery ever.
So reacting to this video, I feel like honestly it was robbed because according to me, I felt like maybe Julian Alvarez would have retaken that penalty. But for this fan calling Real Madrid, maybe thinking Real Madrid is not a better side and it's not a big club, I feel like it's wrong. But yeah, the penalty was robbed. But I feel like for him thinking that Real Madrid don't deserve the number of Champions League they've already won, I think that's wrong because Real Madrid has been a better side compared to all the other clubs in Europe. No doubt about that one. Moving forward, let's see how the other fan reacted to this penalty by Julian Alvarez too.
I tried to tell you guys, if you still believe Real Madrid deserve those 15 Champions League, then there's something wrong up there. Never in my life have I seen this type of BS, bro. Disallowing a goal in a penalty shootout, VAR intervening in the middle of it, and they wonder why they're called Madrid. No team in the world is getting away with this shit, bro. I swear to God, have we even seen this ever in the history of the sport? This is next level corruption. This is some mafia type shit. But you know what the craziest thing is? Not only did they disallow the goal when Alvarez's foot was nowhere near the ball, but they didn't even tell the Atleti players it was disallowed. Madrid, even with a penalty, couldn't beat Atleti, and that's why this happened, bro. I swear to God, they need to be stopped. And on top of that, like, just have a look to how this guy celebrates. Absolutely shameless. In front of the Atleti fans, putting down the shirt. Yeah, you guys are Madrid. Madrid. Honestly, I can't believe it, bro. These guys get away with murder, man. I don't know how they do it. All I'm going to say is, Arsenal fans, just prepare, because you're going to see what we've all faced. But the fact that Oblak saved a penalty as well, oh my God, this is heartbreaking. I'm not even an Atleti fan, but this is heartbreaking, man. This corruption has gone too far, bro. I think I'm done with football, man. I'm done.
Reacting to this, I think for Vini Jr. putting the shirt in front of Atletico Madrid fans, I think that's awful because you missed the penalty, man. You missed the penalty. Self-proclaimed Ballon d'Or winner. You missed the penalty. Why are you coming on and putting the shirt in front of Atletico Madrid fans? We know it's a derby. It's not a tough game. You need to do that, but you did need to do that in front of Atletico Madrid fans because Atletico Madrid really deserved to win yesterday, not even Real Madrid. So I think for Vini Jr. doing this, putting the shirt in front of Atletico Madrid, it's okay. It's a Real Madrid die-hard fan, apart from being a player, but then putting the shirt in front of Atletico Madrid fans, that's awful. And also talking about their next game with Arsenal, Real Madrid. Arsenal is the only club unbeaten against Real Madrid. I know they haven't played many matches, Real Madrid versus Arsenal, but then Arsenal is the only club unbeaten against Real Madrid. So don't be surprised if Real Madrid can't beat Arsenal in their next UEFA Champions League game. I'm just saying this, but don't be surprised if Gunners stops Real Madrid in their next Champions League game.
This might go down as one of the most controversial decisions ever made in a penalty shootout. It's the Champions League, it's a Madrid derby, and it goes all the way. We're going into penalty shootouts. Julian Alvarez steps up to take a penalty for Atletico Madrid, and he nails it. It goes in the net. Then naturally, Real Madrid go next to take their penalty, and it's Valverde. But before Valverde takes his penalty, you see him talking to the ref, and everyone's like, well, what the hell's going on? Now, here's the kicker. When Julian Alvarez took this penalty, he slipped at the same time. So when you saw Valverde talking to the referee, we found out it's because Real Madrid made a complaint that Julian Alvarez double tapped the ball before it went into the back of the net. Brings us to this moment right here. Now, I'm going to say this as someone who loves Real Madrid. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy call to make when it is not that clear. I've watched the penalty over and over and over again, and I'm not 100% sure that it was a double tap. This will go down as one of the most controversial decisions because Rudiger ended up putting away the last penalty for Real Madrid, sending Real Madrid into the quarterfinals and Atletico home.
Have you ever seen anything more Real Madrid in the Champions League than that? What have we just witnessed? That decision to disallow that Julian Alvarez penalty is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. Now, he 100% does not touch the ball before he kicks it. So that standing foot does not touch the ball before he kicks it, 1,000,000%. So all the VAR is going off is that after he strikes it, it then clips his standing foot. And I don't think there is any categoric proof that it does. And I also think we need to look at the rule. Because Courtois is diving the other way. You can see Alvarez is going for that corner. The ball goes in. Surely, at worst, the penalty taker retakes it in that sort of situation. That is such an unfair penalty for slipping in the way that he does. And it's just heartbreak for Atletico Madrid. Obviously, they went 1-0 up through Conor Gallagher. What a start for them. Vinicius Jr. had the chance to win it for Madrid. He misses it. Shocking penalty. And then in that penalty shootout, there are two legitimately missed penalties, one for each team. And yet Real Madrid go through. I mean, it's outrageous. But it does mean this. Real Madrid versus Arsenal. Bring it on.
So every video that I've come across today, every fan is criticizing VR decision to cancel Julian Alvarez penalty. But I think for me, I felt like Real Madrid is a big club, but then they really robbed Atletico Madrid because, man, I felt like not only robbing them, but I felt like the penalty would have at least been retaken if it was an honest game, because I felt like maybe if it was really honest, the penalty would have been retaken, and maybe, let's say, maybe it was just a fair game, then Julian Alvarez misses a penalty normally instead of him scoring, and then Real Madrid's players starts complaining that because he took the penalty using two legs, and that's the reason why the penalty is being cancelled. But there again, VR I think VR is overworking now, because cancelling a penalty, I've never seen that, man. In some occasions with the penalties that I've always watched, maybe goalkeeper stepping out of the line and the penalty is always retaken. I've never seen like the goalkeeper told, no, now because to step out of the line, step outside and leave the goal for the penalty to be taken without any goalkeeper. Like, for example, I feel like that's whatever they did to that's whatever they did to Atletico Madrid, because I felt like the penalty was supposed to be retaken then. If Julian Alvarez slipped and took the penalty using two legs, the penalty was supposed to be retaken instead of VR coming on and saying that, we're cancelling this penalty because of blah, 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 the things that a lot of people didn't even understood. To be honest, I was really shocked because for the first time I'm watching a penalty being cancelled by VR. That's crazy, man. I think VR is really overworking now. And apart from that, I think all history always repeats itself, because Atletico Madrid has never eliminated Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League. And history also always plays a big role, and also luck. Apart from history, the big thing is luck, because Real Madrid were lucky yesterday. And so Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid manager, said in an interview that he told the interviewers to raise their hands if they saw the Julian Alvarez double touch in a penalty kick. And so Dani Ceballos, who is a Real Madrid player, replied by raising his hand on Twitter. I don't know what's happening in the Madrid derby. But then, real talk, Champions League cannot be a Champions League without Real Madrid. I think, honest talk, Champions League will never be Champions League without Real Madrid. Champions League can be a Champions League without Atletico. Champions League can be a Champions League without Liverpool. Champions League can be a Champions League without Man United, without Man City. But Champions League can never be a Champions League without Real Madrid. Hala Madrid. And let's wait and see the Real Madrid versus Arsenal game. But real fact, before that game, Real Madrid have never won a single match against Arsenal FC. So guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, road to 6,000 subscribers. Tell a friend to tell a friend and like this video.